Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to the podcast. I was talking with a private client of mine recently, and we were coaching on motherhood and parenting. And I was sharing my approach with sticker charts and rewards and how I do not subscribe to them, nor do I advise using them and why. And it was a really excellent discussion that broke her brain a little bit with respect to what she was working on with her child. And I was thinking about how relevant this is for kids of any ages, regardless of if you are potty training, if you are working on a kid going into their own bed, if it's grades in school, if it's behavior at home or in school, if it's big emotions and meltdowns, if it's listening, if it's getting in trouble, if it's older kids with lying or cheating or any sort of like timeouts or discipline or punishment, like even for parents with kids who are adults, when you no longer have sort of the type of tactics that you can use when they're in your home, you still, if you have this type of mindset, will approach them from a place of disapproval and shame that comes off as like punitive and disconnecting. So it applies even if your kids are older. So I decided to record an entire podcast training on why I don't use sticker charts or rewards of any kind and what I do instead. And the main takeaway is that kids actually experience sticker charts and rewards emotionally, and they make it about their identity and whether you love them. So they interpret, I did a good job, I got a sticker, I behaved well, mom is happy, as mom loves me more when I do these things. The inverse is also true. When I do a bad job, when I make a mistake, when I have a meltdown, when I make a wrong choice, when I fail, mom is unhappy and disappointed and loves me less. Now, you don't actually, of course, love your kid more or less based on their behavior. Your love is unconditional, but that is not how they experience it because of attachment. Your kids are biologically wired for attachment, and connection equals safety to them. So it's super important for kids to make sure that they ensure that attachment in order to survive. It's the survival part of the brain. So when love or approval feels tied to performance, kids will choose attachment over authenticity every single time. And that's where we start seeing things like people pleasing, hiding mistakes, feeling anxious about getting things right, just really feeling more shame than is appropriate for the given situation. It's like, okay, you had an accident or you made a mistake, but the child just feels like so upset, like they're so bad. And that's because we've conflated identity with behavior. And in this podcast, I teach you exactly what to do instead so that actions aren't ignored. It's not like actions and performance doesn't matter. It's just that it matters in a different way than we've been parented and that we've been taught to believe. They're separate. You can teach your kids that you love them unconditionally and there is nothing that they have to do in order to get your love. And also that actions matter, that outcomes matter, that skills matter, but separating them out is key. This is not about removing consequences. This is not about permissive parenting, but it's about removing the shame and the judgment that negatively impacts the parent-child relationship. And when you use sticker charts and rewards, it creates perfectionism and there's a lack of authenticity and people-pleasing and hiding things and all of those things that we really want to avoid with our kids. So if this resonates with you and you want the full conversation, it is now available inside the Mom on Purpose membership. All you got to do is head on over to momonpurpose.com/coaching. You get immediate access to the private podcast with this episode and all of the other episodes. I will see you inside momonpurpose.com/coaching. Take care.